21st, 2021. Sarah, would you be so kind as to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Would someone like to make a motion to adopt tonight's agenda? Have you all had a chance to review them?
I'll second it.
Everyone in favor of adopting the agenda?
Aye.
Motion carries. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from the meeting held August 17th, 2021?
Yes, ma'am.
Would someone like to make a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from the meeting held August 17th, 2021.
I'll second it.
Everybody in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Public comment period for items not on the agenda.
Don't be shy.
I think we're good there. Okay, so we have, we'll have two public hearings tonight. The first is on a request by us, the City Planning Commission, to rezone the listed parcels from HB Highway Business to local business. So we'll have a little presentation from staff here. Thank you so much.
Oh, there we go.
It was not.
Okay.
It is being
Can I remove
broadcast
my
live,
face
though.
mask while speaking? Is that
Yeah.
okay? Be easier to do it without it. Okay. This application is has been initiated by the Planning Commission, and it's a general rezoning of parcels along portions of North Avenue, New Hope Road, and Ohio Street from highway business to local business. The parcels are located on the eastern side of Popular Avenue, just north of West Broad Street. You can see they're outlined in blue there, the subject parcels we're looking at here. And here's a look at some of the surrounding uses of these parcels. The parcels themselves are primarily residential. There is one business, a hair place, sort of in the middle there on Ohio Street right here. Otherwise, they're residential. And you can see you got Willow Oak Plaza sort of on the southeast, Walmart. You got several strip malls, the car wash, and then a large self-storage facility on the north side there. And then here's a quick look at the current zoning, and they are all currently zoned for highway business. And this rezoning was initiated by the Planning Commission, and it would rezone these parcels from highway business to local business. The highway business zone doesn't permit any residential uses by right. It's primarily an auto-centric zone intended for parcels that front on major arterials or highways, and it's meant for the development of offices, hotels, uses like that, that are in close proximity to major transportation routes. Broad Street and Rosser would be two examples of those. The local business zone, however, does allow for some residential uses by right. These include the single-family detached and attached and duplexes, and for other smaller-scale, lower-intensity commercial uses that place a lower demand on the public services, transportation, and utilities. So rezoning these parcels would address a couple issues, one of which is the fact that the highways business zoning does not currently allow residential uses by right. And this was identified during the rezoning request we heard a couple months back for the 1017 New Hope Road application, or the Little Red Brick House. The owners of these parcels, since most of them are being used for residential use, could run into a couple different issues that are financing related. They could have problems getting financing if they're trying to refinance or rebuild the homes for any reason. And then if they're trying to sell it, the potential buyers could run into problems getting financing for the purchase. And then also, if the parcel is left vacant for 2 years, it cannot then be resumed for residential use. Another issue is the fact that this area doesn't match the 2008 land use maps designation as medium density residential. And then the last issue is that the infrastructure, and primarily the roads in this general vicinity, aren't really adequate for the higher intensity commercial uses. So this is just a quick map of the proposed rezoning to local business of these parcels. Now, the comprehensive plan has identified the area as medium-density residential, and these parcels are part of one of the largest areas in the city where the zoning doesn't match the land use maps designation. And with this rezoning, since these parcels are primarily residential, it would bring these parcels more in line with the comprehensive plan. And then this rezoning would be considered a downzoning since the local business district would lessen the intensity of allowable uses. But since these parcels aren't part of a proposed change of use or new project, there are not any anticipated impacts on the adjacent parcels. And here again, there's no anticipated impacts on traffic quantity in this area since it's not part of a new project or new proposed change of use, excuse me. And then all the utilities needed are present in this location. So finally, staff is recommending approval of this rezoning. It addresses and fixes some the existing non-conforming uses and brings the parcels more in line with the comprehensive comprehensive plan, and doesn't negatively impact any of the surrounding parcels. And then finally, longer term, the Planning Commission may want to reconsider the future land use designations and long-term vision of this area between Broad Street and the railroad tracks next time the land use map is updated. And that's all I have, so I'm ready for any questions you might have.
Okay. I think we initiated this. We can probably go ahead and open the public hearing.
Public hearing.
All right, I would like to open the public hearing to request the rezoning from, hold on, let me get it in front of me. From a highway business to local business for the area we just discussed, which is, just want to get the name of it right. It says numerous properties list attached. Properties on the east of North Poplar Avenue along North Avenue, Ohio Street, and New Hope Road from highway business to local business. Do we have any comments or questions from the public for this public hearing?
Allison, did we received one comment from a member of the public, did we not, on this rezoning? Was it this one or?
The only comment we received was from the owner of auto repair and storage facility along North Avenue that was a little concerned about the parcels he owned, but he didn't actually submit a written comment or followed up with me when I tried to follow up with him. Otherwise, I have received no comments.
Okay. So I think we can close the public hearing. Somebody would like to make a motion or have any questions or anything like that? No.
Nope.
Any debate? Okay, someone want to make a motion?
Now, are we making a motion to recommend this to council, or was
Yeah.
this just for the public hearing tonight?
Yes. Is that right?
I'll make a motion that we request that the city of that we refer this matter to the city council for rezoning of the listed properties. Let me look here real quick. Wrong one. I'm sorry. The listed properties on North Poplar Avenue, North Avenue, Ohio Street, and New Hope Road be rezoned from HB Highway Business to BL Local Business.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Everyone in favor of recommending to city council the consideration of the rezoning or rezoning of parcels on the east of North Poplar Avenue along North Avenue, Ohio Street, and New Hope Road from highway business to local business, say yay.
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 I,
It seems like the motion carries. Now, on to our next public hearing. And I gotta, do I have to close I closed the first one already.
yes,
Hang on.
you need to open.
The staff, and I don't open, I have to invite them
Yeah,
first.
you're right.
I have to invite them first. Okay, so we are going to talk about rezoning another section of parcels on the corners of 11th Street and Walnut Avenue and Chestnut Avenue from RS5 traditional residential to RG5 general residential, and we will let staff tell us what we're talking about. Thank you.
So yeah, this application is for a rezoning of 6 parcels at the corner of 11th Street and Chestnut and 11th Street and Walnut Avenues from RS5 to RG5. And these parcels are located south of West Main Street on 11th Street. And here again, they're the 6 parcels there outlined in the blue. So this rezoning was initiated by the Planning Commission and would rezone these parcels from RS5 traditional residential to RG5 general residential. The RS zone is a traditional residential zone that is characterized by the traditional small lot neighborhoods with single-family detached houses. And then some non-residential uses compatible with those traditional neighborhoods are also permitted. The RG5 general residential district is meant for medium-density residential uses that include more variety of residences, single-family houses, duplexes, townhomes, that are compatible with the traditional residential neighborhoods. And then here again, some non-residential uses compatible with the neighborhoods are also permitted. So the current zoning would fix, or excuse me, rezoning these parcels would fix some inconsistencies created by a prior rezoning that took place a couple months ago for 312 and 316 Walnut Avenues and then 325 Chestnut Avenues. And it would also more accurately represent the housing types that are found in this area. And then here's a quick look at some of the surrounding uses. The Baptist Church, First Presbyterian Church, and then Fishbourne, and then residential uses to the south and southwest. And then here's a quick map of the proposed rezoning. And then for the comprehensive plan, these parcels are designated institutional, but there is medium density residential designation directly to the south of these parcels. This rezoning is an upzoning, which means that some of the uses allowed in the RG5 district may generate more negative impacts than those allowed in the RS5 district because it allows for more and denser housing types. However, this is an area where there are already many non-conforming housing types that include multiplexes and duplexes and townhomes. And since this rezoning is also not part of a proposed change of use or new project, there aren't any negative impacts anticipated for any of the adjacent parcels. And this is the same for traffic. There are not any negative, there are not any anticipated impacts on the traffic in this area because it isn't part of a newer proposed change of use. And then also, here again, all the utilities are present in this location. Staff is recommending approval of the rezoning. It'll fix the zoning inconsistencies that developed as a result of the previous rezoning on Walnut and Chestnut Avenues and is consistent with the uses that are already present in the neighborhood. It also doesn't conflict with the comprehensive plan and doesn't negatively impact any of the adjacent parcels. That's all I have, and ready for any questions.
Okay, great. I'm thinking we probably don't have a lot of questions since we've kind of already discussed this quite a bit. I'm going to open the public hearing in regard to a general rezoning of parcels on the corners of 11th Street and Walnut Avenue and 11th Street and Chestnut Avenue from RS5 traditional residential to RG5 general residential. Any comments from the public or any emails or anything about this? No?
We did not receive any comments from the public for this.
Okay. So, I think I can close the public hearing. And now, does someone want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion to refer the matter to city council of the rezoning of parcels on the corner of 11th Street and Walnut Avenue and 11th Street and Chestnut Avenue from RS-5 traditional residential to RG-5 general residential.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Everyone in favor of recommending to City Council general rezoning of parcels on the corners of 11th Street and Walnut Avenue and 11th Street and Chestnut Avenue from RS5 traditional residential to RG5 general residential, say aye.
Aye.
Everyone not in favor? Motion carries. My two fastest public hearings ever. Yeah. So next on the agenda is other business and commissioners' correspondence and communication.
I have a couple items if no one else does.
I thought we discussed the third area off of 13th Street.
We did, but I think we concluded that that was going to be more
Oh, okay.
complicated. We needed more,
Okay.
more in the hopper. So I don't think you all initiated anything
Okay.
there,
I don't think so.
as I
either.
recall.
Yeah, I couldn't
Okay.
remember. I thought we had discussed the third one, and I was like, well, maybe we
Yeah.
didn't.
Before you start, I do have a comment.
Great.
I checked tonight, and Mr. Turner, who was here last time, and we gave him the permission, he did clear the sidewalk on 12th Street
Good.
and cut the brush back and remove the trash that was there.
Very good.
And his rezoning was presented to council last Monday, but they have not voted on it yet. A couple of things that I have for y'all. One of them is just that we have no agenda items currently for the October meeting, and I will actually be out of town during the October meeting. So, unless one of you all would like to meet for some reason, I'll propose canceling it.
Okay.
Great, but you're obviously always welcome to meet. The second thing I wanted to note was just that Ms. Tom Barge has been with us for 4 months now, and has been doing a fantastic job, has already taken over a lot of the processes in the department and a lot of the grunt work. And you will probably be transitioning to seeing her handle most of the planning commission and a lot of the applications coming through over the next year, as we have a number of changes coming through the city, and I'll be in a slightly different role starting this month.
Climbing the corporate ladder.
Sort of, not exactly. I'll technically be community development director now, so I'll be dealing with somewhat more of the building and zoning issues, but I'll still be here. But Alison has been doing a great job, and we'll be taking over more of the task here. And yeah, and
I'll
there's
say one thing, she types those minutes upright.
she does good.
Yeah.
He's fantastically thorough.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
We have there are a number of other staff changes trickling down through the city as a result of Mr. Shaw's retirement. So, the third thing, I guess I would just say that I have no updates on the Greenway. Port Republic, we ratified the contract. We've kind of been slow as molasses on that one, but partially just because this Delta wave thing. So it seems to be receding a little bit. Hopefully, we're supposed to peak soon. So hopefully that will all get set just in time for it to be easy and safe to get together again. And then for the Brownfields and CDBG project, also moving somewhat slowly, but still chugging along. And then I was just going to give you all a quick update on subdivisions, since quite a bit's been happening. We had the second to last section of Evershire just get approved, Evershire 4E. So the entire single-family home section has now been platted, and you can see that they're constructing the road connection to Ivy Street. So they'll provide another outlet out of that neighborhood, which is great. And then the second to last section of the townhomes was just platted, and then the last section will connect to Claybrook. So you'll have even more of a network of roads out there. Quisenberry, which we discussed before, was that cluster development just north of Claybrook. They just began taking down trees this past month, or the last 2 weeks. And so they're moving forward with construction of their phase 1 section. They're not sure about phase 2. Creekwood Village, which is the one right behind Walmart, and that they've renamed it Creekwood Village from Carflow Farm, it's now very close to going to construction as well for their phase 1. And then we have a number of potential subdivisions and rezonings that are sort of in the hopper as well. So I would expect to see, it doesn't seem like the development activity is slowing down. I would expect it to slow down at some point here soon. It'll have to, but at least for now, all of our development community are forging ahead with new projects.
Now, is Creekwood gonna acquire that piece of land that's not in their subdivision that has the house on it? I noticed last week it's now, for sale sign up in front of it, or,
No, they are not planning on that. We do.
Okay.
There is another prospect that's interested in that area currently
Yeah.
for commercial purposes mainly.
Okay.
But we did plat an interparcel connection from Creekwood
Okay.
Village to there. So,
cause I was wondering if they were gonna add to their property and include that.
not to my knowledge, no.
Just so, the parcel you're talking about that's for sale, is that the one that has the sort of right-of-way that comes out right where Lowe's is, the other side of Lowe's?
No, that's
No.
actually the one just south of Creekwood. So there's
Yeah.
one just north of Creekwood as well that has a.
It's the brick house up on the hill that during the summer when the leaves on the tree, it's kinda hidden until you're right in front of it.
Right, okay, well, I was gonna comment that if that other part develops, need to be thinking about that as a roadway out of there too.
Yes. Yeah.
It,
I don't believe that we have a connection point though on the south side of Creekwood for that one.
Well, but I was thinking if the property developed,
Yeah.
then if we could do a through.
Some kind of tie-in. Yeah, we did, because we didn't require that connection from the Creekwood side, though, they would have to amend their plan to
Okay.
come out that way. We probably should have done something like that. but-
Too late for that now. All right.
Let me ask Luke one other question, and I think this kind of went over my head last time. The motel that's being developed where the lad school was?
Near
What-
there on Chickerell Lane?
Yes.
Yeah, back by Home
Is
Depot.
that following that plan that we had several years ago, they had presented several years ago?
So the Lad School is not, they don't have a hotel being built on there. The hotel that's being built is right next to the Days Inn back on Windy Grove.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's a city economic development project.
Did I notice that the lad school been torn down?
It has
Oh.
indeed been torn down.
And
So what's
they've
going
leveled the
on
lot.
So they've got site plan approval and all their plans in for, there'll be Sheets, Chipotle, Bojangles, Take Five, and I believe a
Oil change.
dentist office,
Okay.
and eventually I think an oil change place.
Now,
So,
the old plan had a motel there and townhouses.
Right.
Those aren't in it now?
well, those are still the approved PUD, the approved
Oh.
plan. The current owner, the developer who's working on the project has not expressed a lot of interest in that. So there's a possibility they'll come forward with another rezoning. My understanding is that they'd like to keep it mostly commercial, but they'll have to come to you for a rezoning to do that. So for now, though, they were just able to sell the out parcels
The
up front.
front business part
Yeah.
that they'd had. Okay, but not a motel?
And they follow the original plan for those front sections.
Okay,
But if they don't want to follow the plan in the back, then they'll have to
okay.
come for
Now,
an
how
amendment.
far does that property go back? It doesn't go back to the other street that cuts off of Windy Grove?
Not to the street,
And goes back to Tiffany, does it?
but all the way to those townhomes that are on that
Okay.
street. Yes.
Okay, that did go over my head last time.
Okay.
And nice article on the Dunkin' Donut loop.
That's right. Yeah, do not make the turn too quickly at Dunkin' Donuts.
It's the steel that's busting the tires.
The key is it is 2 right turns. It is not a U-turn. Everybody wants to make a U-turn. It is 2 right turns. Anyway.
I haven't been there yet. They've been crowded every time
All
I've
right,
gone
I
by
think we
there.
are, somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
Everyone in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Adjourned.
I think you set a record.
I think this might be the quickest.